Could it be that Skales is envious or jealous of WIZKID? I think that these are natural submissions that we like to arrive or conclude. Especially when we see one person doing better than the other, and then the other person just makes certain remarks or says this or act in a certain kind of way. We just tend to give our own submission and say, you know what, that is coming from a place of envy, that's coming from a place of jealousy. But it may not really be. For example, a case of two brothers and then one more successful than the other, and it so happens that the younger one is the more successful one and the older one yet to be successful. And then the older one perceives that slight, he perceives disrespect from his younger brother, and then decides to react. And then everybody comes up and like, normally he wouldn't react like this, he wouldn't react like this, he must be envious of his brother, blah blah blah, things like that. And then we fail to put into consideration that when you take the money off, in a real sense, there are certain things that we definitely should look very much well and be very much objective and honest. We will see through these things and realize that it is not how we tend to interpret it too quickly. Yeah, I have a video of me, Skales, giving his remark, and he's saying that WIZKID, he feels like WIZKID never really liked him. I mean, we all know that Skales and WIZKID started together. It's no longer news, right? So Skales and WIZKID started together at EMEZ under the tutelage of Banky W. And fortunately, WIZKID became more successful than Skales. But then at the end of the day, both of them are still successful. I mean, considering the recent blow up of Skales, from a track that has been dated years way back, courtesy of Lamine Yamal. And I do not know how long this video has been made. I don't know if it's a recent video or not, but I came across it with Dr. Fab, and giving his remark beneath it, where he said, that nuisance where them they bounce with in dirty clothes and in black dirty face, I go outside, carry him, enter settings, pity him, make it feel like human being small. And so I think for Dr. Fab replying this September 17, it must be a recent video. And then yes, Skales is saying that he kind of feels that WIZKID never really liked him, and he gave instances where instances that would make you at least understand that the statement is not coming from a place of envy, but a place of honest judgment, honest assessment. He has assessed the whole thing to see for himself, and like we say, action speaks louder than voice. And so I'll play the video for you so you can hear, and tell me what you think, because me personally, I definitely give my takes. So let me play the video for you.
I would say I've always known, but I've also always felt like Wiz didn't like me.
Why? Because
I really don't know.
You guys
I have instances, by the way. If you go back and check that, it was all about, I think that time I was doing like a question and answer on Twitter, and somebody said, oh, what's up with your guy Wiz, blah blah, and I said, jokingly, saying my brother Wiz does not have my time anymore. I think from there, that's to show you that he probably had me in mind. He started insulting my father, my mother, saying I'm wearing fake jewelry, saying like so much stuff. But honestly, that time, I wasn't the one replying. It was my ex-girlfriend that was replying, because this is me. This is how I see life. I pick my battle. When I know that people believe anything you say, I don't need to fight you, because really, whatever I say, they're going to say I'm jealous. Maybe I envy you or some kind of stuff like that. I remember when we shot Mukulu. Is Wiz in that video?
I can't remember. It's been a while.
He wasn't in that video, bro. And the excuse was, I can remember the story perfectly well. The excuse was, had a flat tire. Bro, you had a flat tire, bro, so you can't come. I remember I texted Jazzy that day in the evening, and he pulled up. Jazzy, David, everybody, So I always used to have this impression that this guy doesn't like me, but I mean, we're here.
It is you hear it for yourself, and I'm also kind of like smiling, at the video, and I'm saying that I understand, I mean, the second instance where he said he had a music video and WIZKID gave the excuse of a flat tire and couldn't show up. I mean, these are people who actually agree together, people who were, like together under a record label, and you wonder, I would have said, okay, Wizzy does not like him because he is more successful than Wizzy, right? But fortunately, WIZKID is more successful than him. And so now how do we actually solve this mathematics, which is very funny? most times we really cannot tell. And this is but one side of the story until we hear the second side of the story. And WIZKID may give us something that may begin to make us, rethink again from this particular submission that he made. And I think from the first instance he said, he gave an instance to say, he gave a response where he said WIZKID doesn't have his time, in response to a particular question that was asked. And he is saying that the answer he gave or the response wasn't actually from him, but from his girl or his ex now. And regardless, he is saying that it wasn't something that he thinks if it was him, he would actually even give a fuck about, because he picks his battle very much and blah 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 blah. This whole thing, we are all human beings, we are social animals, and yes, we get to develop different kind of rift as days go by. And as these things happen, most times we never can really tell how most people will interpret it and how things will continue to spiral. I do not really know what's between them. We only have Skales side of the story, like I said, and I really don't know what's between them. And I hope that they reach a resolution. They actually reach consensus, they solve it, and they become bros like they should be. I mean, considering where Skales is and where WIZKID is, I'm looking way back to see that these were actually label mates, co-label mates, colleagues under the EMEZ. And like Davido, we rise by lifting others up, and it wouldn't cost Weezy anything to pull Skales up to his level. Yes, we need each other, and it's always going to be fun when we help each other. I do not know who Dr. Fabs is, but recently I've been seeing Dr. Fabs throwing jabs at Skales. I think as yesterday, was it yesterday 17th? Yes, yesterday is 18th, 17th. Skales tweeted, "God bless you, Mehdi. Na honest work you did do. Kill person. Stay diligent. God got you, brother." Mehdi was signed to P Square, and then he fell out. So tragic. Mehdi right here performing on the streets, and it's something that really touches when you see some people at the top and then they begin to they fall. It's not an easy thing. And it's tragic. It's better that you do not have them eventually go up than you actually once reach get them before no be property. And it's really sad, but I'm glad that Skales at least acknowledged him and was able to cheer him up, considering the fact that Skales himself was way down below. Regardless, in spite of the wonderful songs that he has given us way back, and then, with the help of Lamine Yamal, grace got him, and he has been revived, and he's taking advantage of it. He's milking, this period, he's milking every single thing, every opportunity from that. And so, yes, he's extending, that goodwill to Mehdi, and he's saying, you're actually doing a honest work, regardless of the fact that you're not as big as you used to be, but I know that people fall, people rise, people fall, people rise. And Mehdi, yes, must have crashed, but it doesn't mean that he cannot rise again. Yeah, one hit track can put him back there, among the big names. Mehdi used to be that star, man with the killer verses, dope lyricist, swag, Candace. He had the performance, he had the delivery. Mehdi was fire back then. For P Square, whole P Square to sign you, you must know that yes, you too must be a hot cake and on fire. Unfortunately, they fell out, and he is performing right here on the streets, But then it's the thing about music, It's the thing about music. If you love it, if you really want to come back, you have to put in the effort. You won't back down, no matter what. You won't back down. I'm proud of Mehdi, man, regardless. And he's put down the whole shame. He come around here with his swag, performing on the street. He doesn't mind, where he has been before, which is what life is really about. Embrace the times, embrace the times. Some people right here may be mockingly observing him, but still, look at him. Look at him, man. Come on. Oh man. I'm so happy to see Mehdi back, man. I hope he gives us, like, yes, he's beginning from the street again, reconnect with the people on the street, do your thing, reconnect with the people back there on the street, and then give us his songs, and then do it, from the ground again, up there again. It's a matter of time, and he'll be there. Like the Chero from Skales, it's really a dope one. I like the Chero from Skales. It's beautiful seeing, him cheering his brother up. And I really don't understand Dr. Fab's problem, honestly. I don't understand Dr. Fab's problem. Maybe he's like that staunch supporter of WIZKID, that no matter what, they come around, they defend WIZKID by all means. I made a video the other time, I think, was it 2 days ago, where I talked about WIZKID's lyrical ability declining, and somebody be like, how would I ever compare WIZKID and Davido? I think it's laughable for you to think that because WIZKID was once a star, and then we still would not be able to see through the current WIZKID today that has declined, and then we shouldn't say it. Davido's lyrics, like very many Nigerian artists' lyrics, is shallow. Nearly every track now that we have, the lyrics are shallow. We barely have musics with deep songs, with deep lyrics. And so it's a fact that almost all the lyrics are shallow. Now, what I most count on is not even how the depth of the lyrics anymore, but who kills the song better. And Davido has killed more songs recently than WIZKID has killed his songs, both his own solo tracks and his features. This is not even up for debate at all. But we'd always have people with their preconception, which is unflinching and unshakable, and they'll always come around to think that, oh, how dare you challenge? You don't know WIZKID, right? Wheezy, brother. Wheezy, yeah, he's a star boy. But when you don't live up to that name anymore, it's like saying Jay-Z, one of the finest rappers. If he drops a song today that's below par, people definitely talk about it. Lil Wayne dropped his Carter 6. And look at the remarks, everybody said it. Wayne fell off. So just because you used to be dope and they are no longer dope doesn't mean that we should still keep saying that you are dope. And so it's just very obvious. Skales made it. He's back on his feet. Mehdi will definitely pick up. And I hope to see more Nigerian artists who fell off to actually pick themselves back up and get back on stage and do something. Even Yaya himself still pressing the buttons behind the scenes. It's just how life should be, You don't just sleep right there when you fall. Most times the time we fall, they are necessary. They're necessary to give us clarity and put us back in line. Man, I've been talking a lot today. I'm tired, man. This one's from me to you, Great Dave. You already know I do this vlogging thing like it's nothing. And I just sit down right here. I sit down right here on my mic. I'm looking at the screen. I'm talking using my OBS for those who want to run the content too. I'm just telling you how I run my thing. I put my OBS on and I'm just right here online, do my thing, talking. Like everybody talks. This is just me, my personal takes. I give it like it's nothing. And I give my remark, how I see things. Of course, I'm very much open to other people's point of view. If it makes sense, to give me facts and show me. It's just me right here, man. I'm tired, man. I gotta get out of here. But before I leave, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and yeah, man, you gotta hit that notification bell because come on, man, when I drop, boom, you gotta pop out and they're gonna tell you, Great Dave just dropped. It's Great Dave Entertainment Vlog, and that's it from me to you, and I'm out.